Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. All right, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of the Sunday Sports Show. We're back. Guys, I have power. I have power. I have Wi-Fi. I have things that you need to stream a show from your location. So it feels a little weird, but we are back. So sorry about the week off there, but Mother Nature had other plans last weekend. So that happens. I did see, by the way, guys, before we say hello, we're in an elevated risk for more kind of nasty weather a little bit later this afternoon. So high winds, hail. I said possibly up to tennis ball size hail in some places. I've had enough of the winds. I don't know about hail. I haven't had any hail yet, but I've always had enough hail. So, so just a heads up for that. Anyway, welcome to the Sunday Sports Show. Guys, I'm Chad Bryan. I've got Ryan Mosser with me. I've got TK Dandridge. Ryan, TK, guys, how have you been? It's been a couple of weeks. How you been?
Doing much better, man. I was down for the count. I lost my voice for like 5 days. Not great when you're hosting 3 podcasts a week. So I had to take needed rest, but I'm feeling a little better. Still stuffed up a little bit, but the family is finally, no longer fully sick. So then whenever that's the case, that's better. So, we're living life, brother. How about you guys?
Man, same. TK, you doing okay?
It's the first day of spring, brother. I'm doing quite all right. Ready for the itchies to come on, though. I got to get my allergy medication read up. So that'll be a time for the next few days.
Yeah, you go from cold season right into allergy season. There's no break, but it is spring, I guess. So at least baseball is right around the corner. We got some things going on. Opening day this week. That's pretty wild. I'll be honest with you. That snuck up on me. Opening day has completely snuck up. I showed – we talked, Ryan, yesterday on the show. TK and I talked about a Logan Allen stat line that made me a little nervous to see heading into opening day. I don't know if you saw his start against the Mariners. He went like 2 1/3 innings, gave up 12 hits, 14 runs. I'm sorry, 14 hits, 12 runs. Either way, not good. Didn't make it any better there. But, yeah, it's a little alarming heading into the first week of the season. But
yeah, it's spring training for a reason.
It's spring training. And I'm just telling myself he went out there working on something. I don't know. I didn't see the start. Didn't watch it. I'm just like, maybe he threw all sliders. Maybe he threw all – I don't know. I have no idea.
All knuckleballs, actually.
Yeah, we'll just pretend he was working on something. So it's no problem. We got a pretty good show. We got to talk March Madness stuff. Some more good games yesterday. So a couple blowouts, but whatever. It's to be expected. It happens. I was just telling TK yesterday on the show, Ryan, I feel like maybe I'm remembering this with a little nostalgia. Maybe I'm probably misremembering, but I feel like in the first round, that Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday, Sunday of March Madness, there used to be like 5, 6, 7 buzzer beaters, crazy endings, double overtime. I feel like we've gotten one of those in the Kentucky game the other day. That was pretty fun. Yeah. The ending was cool. Although Santa Clara's coach is right on. I mean, you could see him signaling for a timeout. The officials missed it, in the chaos of the moment, and obviously what happened. You had to be thinking, if you're watching that game, or it's just looking back on it. I mean, at the moment, Santa Clara's coach had to have been telling his guys, "Hey, but let's make sure. Why not foul there, right? Probably a good idea to foul and not let him get any shot off. You don't want to foul on the shot, obviously, but." Yeah, you might have wanted to grab someone there and maybe not let them just run a couple of seconds off or whatever. But it's not the way that game ended up. So regardless, you have missed calls and things, but
it happens. Yeah. I mean, March Madness, it's been fun so far. Close games, some teams that are stepping up that you didn't think, necessarily were. Nebraska finally, pushing through. Like, we mentioned pregame Michigan State as well. Like, there's some, I don't know, the shootout Arkansas with High Point as well was fun. There's been some fun games for sure. Ohio State, obviously that clearly wasn't the play that was drawn up, but nonetheless, execution was awful. And it's really sad to see that the last shot that Thornton got up was that half court, buzzer beater that really, chuck and pray. But nonetheless, fun tournament so far. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of shot that only goes if you have the basketball gods on your side, like Kentucky, right? Lately for Ohio State, basketball gods not on their side. That's okay. That happens. They're gonna get it turned around, or they won't. One way or the other. Right now, speaking of the brackets, I can the ESPN the tournament challenge. There are 2 perfect brackets remaining. We're almost all the way through to the Sweet 16. We've got about 24, 25, whatever. But yeah, we're 2 perfect brackets remaining. One of them is not mine. I can tell you that mine was not perfect from the rip. But the literal very first tip, it took care of my perfect bracket, the Ohio State TCU, like it did for a lot of people. That's the number one killer of perfect brackets. I cannot believe that. Almost 16 million people lost their perfect bracket on the Ohio State TCU. So right off the rip, people just done. That many people. That goes to show you that no one watches regular season basketball, right? And then you just start picking teams. You're like, whatever, 8's that's a lower number than 9. Move them on. Let's go. And then if you had watched Ohio State during the year, you probably know that they were going to be a little bit vulnerable to some things at TCU. That whatever. I still picked them. Didn't stop me. But I'm in that group of people that probably didn't watch as much college basketball as I would have liked during the regular season either. So that happens. Let's get right into it, man. There's just I'll pull up some of the snippets of the brackets here, and we can talk about some of the games that happened yesterday. I was gonna ask you guys, and if TCU hung with Duke or if they beat Duke, would we have forgiven Ohio State? Not that we're never gonna watch. Whatever. I'm not mad at Ohio State. They just lost. But would it have been more understandable if TCU had gone out there and gone to the wire? Down to the wire with Duke or even beaten Duke? It just feels a little bad. I mean, this is probably similar to what would have happened if Ohio State had moved on as well. Judging from, how they played against TCU, I think it would have been a similar result if they had played Duke in the second round. But the Duke TCU game, really, I don't know. It was close for a little while. I think the first half, TCU kind of, they hung around or whatever, but then Cameron Boozer really got it going in the second half. I think it was 17 points and 7 of 9 shooting in that second half. What were your guys' takeaways? I don't know. Should Ohio State have beaten TCU? Would they have competed against Duke at all in any way, or are we just kind of happy they didn't get embarrassed by Duke like TCU did?
I mean, obviously, you want a team that you're a fan of to move on to the next round, regardless of who the competition is, or regardless of how the next game or outcome would be. They were clearly outmatched. TCU was. Duke. I mean, first half they were sluggish, but like you said, Cameron Boozer got rolling. He flipped the entire game. He controlled the second half, and TCU really didn't have an answer. I doubt Ohio State would have had an answer as well. I mean, it was just one of those games where he was on fire. When Duke plays with that kind of, pace and physicality, they look like a team that can beat anyone, left in the field. So they're going to be a strong competition going on to the next round for sure.
Yeah. TK, Duke down 2 with about 16 minutes to play. Just a little over 16 minutes to go. Outscored TCU 43-18 the rest of the way. What happened? I mean, did TCU just did they forget they were playing basketball, or does Duke just that good they could just flip the switch like that on you?
Well, I think in all honesty, Duke is just overwhelmingly better than Texas Christian University. I think they have been for quite some time. But especially for this year, I just think the matchups were heavily in favor of the Duke Blue Devils, and they took full-on advantage of it. Granted, it took them a little while. The Duke Blue Devils are doing this slow burn type of approach to these tournament games, and I actually like it. I get, majority of us were afraid, kind of worried after the Siena game, because it's like, okay, these guys are really getting up on you guys right now, and it doesn't look like there's much hope for you. But at the same time, you got to remember who you are. You are the Duke Blue Devils, and they are Siena. So there's obviously a huge gap in talent. So they eventually, snapped out of it, woke the hell up, and got back to doing what they do best, which is playing semi-dominant basketball. And they were able to do that against Texas Christian University. And to the question of would we have forgiven the Ohio State Buckeyes had TCU beaten Duke? Listen, we expected too much out of them in the first place. They were 21-12 during the regular season. I get that's a pretty decent record, but at the same time, Ohio State basketball hasn't been worth a damn since I was in high school. They still got a way to go. So I expect them to take that and realize exactly where they are, and hopefully we'll get a better year next year. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they improved down the stretch. I thought they got much better. But listen, I mean, also we get some comments, and to Raul's point, High Point went further than Ohio State. That's true. I mean, can't argue that. Played much better. I think High Point probably would have beaten Ohio State too, judging from the way they looked in their two games. But hey, that's where we are right now, Ohio State basketball. So it is what it is. But yeah, Duke beats TCU 81-58. You see the score there. They'll move on. They'll play the winner of St. John's and Kansas, which is one of the two remaining games in that East bracket. And we can get to just the other side, not the other side of the East, but the other part of the East bracket there. Michigan State beat Louisville 77-69. Michigan State, we talked about it before the show. You guys, man, does anybody flip the switch? Speaking of flipping the switch, Duke flips the switch in game, right? But Michigan State every year, it seems like they're all right. You know, they're a good Big Ten team. They're solid. They're going to finish top 3 or 4. And every year you go, oh, maybe this is the year that, like, you know, Izzo doesn't quite have the tournament team that he's expecting. And then suddenly they look like a team that can beat almost anybody, and they beat Louisville by 8 or whatever. But it was just things that they did. Like Cohen Carr just looked, he was a first career double-double, actually, 21 points, 10 rebounds in that one. Michigan State just looked at times very dominant. I don't know. I mean, TK, what was your takeaway from Michigan State, Louisville? You feel like Michigan State could, I don't know, maybe sneak into the Final Four? Can they move on in this bracket?
With Tom Izzo as the head coach, anything, and I do mean anything, in the world is possible for the Michigan State Spartans. I honestly think last night was just a snippet of that. I can understand if people are excited, want to go ahead and put them in that realm. We still got a ways to go, so I don't want to, guarantee anything, end up embarrassing myself in the long run. But I do think Michigan State can make a significant amount of noise in this here tournament. It's going to be interesting to see them play the winner of UCLA UConn and see how that goes out. I think if we get that game and they end up winning, maybe we have a little bit of a clearer picture of what the future holds for them. But I think right now anything is possible, just off the strength of what they've done so far. They do look good. They do look aggressive, rejuvenated. I expect it to continue. But still, I think this is a wait-and-see operation.
That's fair. I mean, by the way, you're going to have an all Big Ten matchup there that next game from Michigan State. It's going to be not either way. I shouldn't say either way, but if UCLA wins, we'll have an all Big Ten matchup. I don't know why I said either way, but UConn, welcome to the Big Ten. You might as well. I mean, hey, why not? Ryan, should UConn be in the Big Ten? No, that's not my question. Ryan, like I said, just any kind of takeaway from Michigan State, Louisville, that anything that left you with an impression on that one, or I mean, how do you feel about Michigan State's chances? Like we said, we never count out Tom Izzo, right? Tough bracket. I mean, you got UConn down there. UCLA is a good team. You got Duke up above. I mean, can they get through here and sneak into the Final Four, do you think? I mean, can they make an appearance, or is it kind of Duke?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, like you said, any team that is coached by Tom Izzo, they always find a way to look more polished in March than they did in January. I honestly, it's March Madness for a reason. They're a team that's stacked, and I really think Cohen Carr, Jeremy Fields Jr. These guys absolutely ran the show this last game. And Louisville really never dictated anything. It was classic Michigan State basketball. They were organized, they're tough, and they're steady. Tom Izzo gets these guys ready for March, no matter what kind of team they have, and that's what makes them so dangerous as a coaching. So I think that they do have a chance. Duke's going to be hard to get past, but they do have a chance to get in the Final Four for sure.
Yeah, Duke is going to be tough, and UConn will be tough. UCLA, if they beat UConn, obviously would be a worthy opponent there. But man, yeah, Michigan State, it's amazing what Izzo does. Nobody develops talent better, at least right now in college basketball. I mean, we haven't even really seen that from Duke. I mean, Mike Krzyzewski was probably maybe one of the best, but even Duke, I mean, under Coach K had some puzzling losses, this time of year, first, second round losses, things like that. But I don't know. I every year I'm just so impressed with Tom Izzo and what he's able to do with this Michigan State squad. And man, they just, like you said, they look completely different, at this time of year than they did back in January. Just really amazing development from them. I'm always, I don't know why I'm surprised every year, but I guess I'm just always impressed. I'm not surprised. Let's move down to the South. Nebraska goes to their first ever Sweet 16. Man, the Big Ten out here representing. And if Iowa upsets Florida, there we go. Could have another all Big Ten matchup right there. But that's going to be a tall task, literally. Whatever, Florida's got a guy that's like, 8'11". So I don't think that, you never know. But yeah, Nebraska beats Vanderbilt 74-72. Almost didn't happen. Vanderbilt almost hit like a 50-footer. Man, we would have had another, buzzer beater. This would have been to win the game, not to send it to overtime. But Ryan, any thoughts on Nebraska headed to their first Sweet 16, first tournament win in history? That's hard to believe in and of itself. But yeah, now headed on to the Sweet 16 to face the winner of Iowa and Florida.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, officially one of the best stories of the tournament. Like you said, no tournament wins in program history before this week, and now they're in the Sweet 16. That's really cool. It's fun that they're turning from not being a football school to maybe hopefully being a basketball school. Their football program sucks. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. No, not they suck. Nonetheless, I'm happy for them. That's really awesome. I obviously am rooting for the Big Ten. Probably other than Michigan, of course, but hopefully, they can pull it off. Florida's going to be tough if Florida wins for sure. Iowa, a Big Ten opponent. They've seen them a couple times this year, obviously, but that tight game with Vanderbilt was you kept on the edge of your seat. They finished with poise that you didn't expect with a team with no resume in March. They're playing with house money for sure, and they know it. So a team like that can be dangerous to their opponent. Nonetheless, I'm just enjoying the ride with Nebraska for sure. So.
Yeah, and I think you said it. It's like enjoying the ride, right? Versus when you start to okay, now we're deep into the tournament. Like now it's like we want to keep going. Right now you tighten up a little bit. You start to play tight. But if you really if you can just, like you said, if you can just stay with just enjoying the fun of it. I mean, first couple wins in tournament history. What do you have to lose now, right? Just keep it going. Likely about to play, the one seed in this thing in Florida. You never know. Iowa, tough basketball team, whatever. Big Ten, you always get some tough basketball in the Big Ten. But yeah, I mean, if you're Nebraska, just have fun with it. TK. Should Nebraska fans be upset about what Ryan Mosser said, or should they just be happy that they had, the 90s and, Tommy Frazier and Eric Crouch and all the Heismans and national champ, whatever. I think they should just be happy with the 90s, but TK, that's not my real question. What's your takeaway, man, from Nebraska, Vanderbilt, and then just, them going forward? I mean, can Nebraska sneak by Florida or Iowa? Obviously they could beat Iowa. Iowa's a 9 seed. But I don't know. Basketball's different this time of year. You know what I mean? You get a little bit different March Madness. Could we see Nebraska possibly sneak through and get into the Final Four after having 0 tournament wins in their entire history before this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what, CB, they got all the momentum in the world, especially after a tough win versus Vanderbilt. I do understand that they were the higher seed, but Vanderbilt has done the best that they possibly can. To rebuild their image as far as college basketball. They did a wonderful job this season, not only getting to the tournament, but showing that they do have a ton of resolve within that program. As far as Nebraska fans, hey, listen, y'all should be having a cornhusking ass hoedown because this is fun times right now. Your first ever Sweet 15 appearance. You guys did it in a thrilling fashion. You got either Florida or Iowa. I'm guessing the general consensus will be Florida. Will move on. And it will be a Florida-Nebraska matchup. That's going to be a tall task, man. But, hey, right now you guys should be over the moon about how your basketball team has performed. You guys were 26-6 going into the tournament. To be able to pull off those 2 wins that you've been able to do so far. You guys looked great in the first game. Had to fight and claw and scratch that second one, but you got it done. Omaha, Nebraska, the entire state of Nebraska, for that matter, not just the city. You guys should be elated right now. Your basketball team is showing up and showing out. This is fun time for you guys. Enjoy it. I hope it goes a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Unrelated. Shout out to the Omaha Zoo, one of the best zoos in the country.
there you go. Speaking of a corn husking ass hoedown, visit the Omaha Zoo. Yeah, that's a commercial. That's an official commercial. We'll get them on as a sponsor, most likely from just my read right there. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, let's just move on. Let's look at the other half of the bracket because we had a couple of games here. Illinois, speaking of Big Ten teams, again, taking care of business, beat VCU 76-55. Probably not a whole lot to glean from that game. I mean, I don't know. Andrej Stojakovic had 21 points. They won by 21 points. I guess if he doesn't play, they go to overtime. I don't know if that's how that works. But, I mean, they took care of business against VCU. Not a whole lot to really talk about there other than the fact that they're going to move on to play the 2 seed in Houston, who also took care of business against Texas A&M. They beat Texas A&M 88-57. Houston, Illinois. This matchup to go, on in the tournament, I guess. Ryan, can the Big Ten keep it going, or Houston's tough, man. Houston looks like a really, really good basketball team. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them in the Final Four, or even to get through the championship game. I mean, how do you feel about Illinois? Since we're sticking with the Big Ten right now, we're going to win by proxy because hey, our team lost, so go our conference, right? SEC. Oh no, we're not doing that. Anyway, Houston, Illinois. What do you think about this to move on?
Respectfully, Illinois does not have a chance here. Houston is a problem. I mean, they didn't just win; they overwhelmed Texas A&M. Their defense absolutely smothered everything. Their guards dictated the pace. They looked like the most complete team on the floor in any window yesterday. I mean, if you're looking for a team that checks every box, Houston's sitting right there. They should be one of the absolute favorites in this tournament. They look incredibly good.
Yeah. Out rebounded Texas A&M 46-29 in that one. TK, by the way, what do you think, Illinois? Do they not have a chance against Houston? I tend to agree with Ryan on this one. I think Houston's going to roll, maybe.
I definitely think Illinois has a chance in this game. I like Houston a lot. You think maybe a year or two ago I would have said Houston's going to take this one running away. I think Illinois wants to prove themselves true to be a solid team in this tournament. Like you said, Dre Stojakovic looked great the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall as a team, they put together a great effort against Virginia Commonwealth, especially after their big win versus North Carolina. Yeah. I do think that this game will be a lot closer than what people think it is going to be. I don't expect a blowout in the least bit. I do expect Houston to pull it out in the end and obviously advance to the Elite Eight, but folks are going to be very surprised to see exactly how competitive Illinois has become. And granted, I said before in the past that I really didn't see them as a dominant team or anything like that. I still don't see them as a dominant team, but these guys are definitely some hardworking young men, group of tryhards, and I mean that in the most positive way humanly possible. It's gonna be a good game, man.
Yeah. I hope it is. Like I said, I tend to think Houston. I agree with Ryan. I think they're kind of the whole problem, man. But we'll see. We'll see today. I mean,
March Madness, man.
Or yeah, we'll see this. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. I don't have the time for the tip on these games today. I just realized I don't have the time in front of me. But yeah, they'll be going on pretty shortly here. They'll start just a little afternoon, like yesterday, and it is March Madness. Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. The only game left in the South region is going to be that Florida Iowa game. Yeah, Illinois Houston does not play today. Sorry about that. That's why I told you I really don't have the times in front of me. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We're going to go to the other side of the bracket, and we'll talk about some of the games from yesterday. We'll talk about just some of the stuff going on as we get the Sweet 16 settled. I mean, I can't. It's almost disappointing how fast we go from 64 teams to 16. It's like, man, I want the first couple of days of the tournament back. That's what's fun for me. But like I said, let's take a quick break here, and I'm going to pull this down, guys. So just so you know. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We'll give us like 5-6 minutes on the Inside Edge Network. We'll be back. We'll go over the West and the Midwest when we get back. But first, hear a word from let's talk about Alley Rose Fragrances, actually. Let's do that. Because I want you guys, I want your house to smell good. All right. I want you guys to smell good. Ryan, TK, I want you guys to smell good. Even though we do these shows virtually, I still feel like sometimes I'm like, man, you guys show up. I'm like, Ryan didn't shower today. I can smell it. It's awful. So at least do me a favor. If you're not going to shower before you come in here, Ryan, get yourself some Alley Rose Fragrances body mist. Do something, man. Go to AlleyRoseFragrances.com. You can use our code Inside Edge 20, capital I, capital E 20, Inside Edge 20. You can save yourself 20% off your first order. And like I said, your house is going to smell amazing. You're going to smell amazing with the body mist. You've got, everybody has a wife, a mother, a sister, a whatever. You got something. There's a female in your life that would love to have an Alley Rose Fragrances body mist. So please go to our sponsor, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Use the code Inside Edge 20. Save yourself 20% off your entire first order, and get yourself a candle. Get yourself some body mist. They make excellent gifts. I've said it before. We wrapped up one of our Alley Rose Fragrances candles, and we gave it to our son's teacher for her birthday. She loved it. She was super happy with the way it smelled. Again, they smell so clean. All natural ingredients, vegan, cruelty free. Everything's handmade right here in the United States in Charlotte, North Carolina. So please, again, visit our friends at AlleyRoseFragrances.com and use the code Inside Edge 20 to save yourself 20% off your entire order as a first-time buyer. Again, give us about 5 minutes or so here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll be back. We'll go over the rest of the bracket. We'll hit the West, we'll hit the Midwest, and then a little bit later, we're going to talk Browns. We haven't had a chance, guys, because I was down last weekend, completely down all weekend because of the high winds. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Browns acquisitions. They've been doing some things. They've made some moves that might kind of just maybe molding what they're going to do in the draft now. So we're going to talk about some of these new acquisitions, some of the moves that they made, whether we like them, whether they I don't know, did they do a good job or not? Did Andrew Berry totally redeem himself, or is he just still Dumb and Dumber? We'll talk about that when we get back here. Like I said, after we go over the rest of the March Madness stuff. Give us about 5-6 minutes on the Inside Edge Network. We will be right back. Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10. All right.
Absolute fire.
Absolute fire. I mean, who does these voiceovers? I would hire that guy in a second, man. That's speaking of absolute fire. That guy's voice, man, absolute fire. Whoever that is, we got to figure that out. All right. Well, speaking of absolute fire, let's move on. I mean, there's more March Madness stuff to get to. We got to get to the West. It feels weird doing the West bracket before the Midwest. It's obviously not regional, really. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I've always wondered, like, it's funny when teams have to like travel weird things. I always wonder why they don't actually try to do it regionally, right? But I guess it would be too hard with you never know who's going to be in it. So let's just hit the West up. Let's look at this West bracket. My team that I picked to win it all, Arizona, still has to play. They got to play Utah State, but Arkansas and High Point was a honestly pretty entertaining game from yesterday. Man, how about High Point? Just riding the literal high point of beating Wisconsin in the first round. They almost did this thing, man. I thought that at times they were going to take Arkansas down. But Arkansas pulls it out 94-88, was tied late, 83-83. And it looked like High Point was going to do it. But then Darius Acuff Jr., man, from Arkansas, 7 straight points, really just put High Point away. Arkansas looks pretty tough. I don't know. I mean, TK, what's your impression of Arkansas, just the whole Arkansas High Point game? And, Arkansas's just, I don't know, their chances of moving forward. I would think that they're likely going to end up in a matchup with Arizona here, unless Utah State can almost quite literally shock the world. Arizona is really, really good. But how do you feel about Arkansas High Point, Arkansas, possibly Arizona moving forward?
Now, I do understand if some people are a little bit thrown off by the result of last night's game against High Point. I do understand. I get High Point after, even after the win against Wisconsin. There's still a 12 seed. Arkansas is a 4 seed. All the expectations that come with a John Calipari coach squad. We've talked about this before. I can understand why people will be worried, but at the same time, I just think this team overall is very good. They have a nice support system to go around that elite point guard that they have in Darius Acuff. I mean, that kid was absolutely outstanding. 36 points in just over 35 minutes. I do think they have a significant chance to move on. Granted, we get the results of this Arizona and Utah State game. Mm-hmm. Arizona is going to be tough. Arizona is going to be tough, extremely tough to be quite honest. But me personally, I'm not worried about Arkansas at all. I do think they have a deep enough team to challenge Arizona. Now, whether or not they get it done is going to be a whole different argument. But again, this is another game that I expect to be rather close down to the end. But I think Arizona pulls it out. Utah State has been pretty decent this tournament too. Let's give them a little bit of love as well.
Yeah,
I don't think many people expected them to get back to the Sweet 16 at all. But they've done a decent job. They've kept themselves in it. They got a huge matchup against Arizona. I don't think they lay down and die for this one. I think we're gonna get a few tough games today. I know I've been saying that a lot this entire episode. I just feel like this particular Sunday, we're gonna see a lot of really close games. Arizona and Arkansas is probably gonna be the next chapter of that. And to be honest, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, we will see. I feel like Arizona is probably going to roll against Utah State, but they have been good. I don't want to take anything away from Utah State. Arizona's just really complete. And we talked about it yesterday. I like their approach. I like, they don't really rely on the 3-point shot. They play some old school basketball, and they can beat you in a lot of different ways. But Ryan, Arkansas High Point, first of all, game was pretty entertaining. TK stays not worried about Arkansas against Arizona. Arizona's got to get past Utah State first. But what was your takeaway? I mean, High Point almost did it, man. But I mean, we talked about Darius Acuff, really, really good, 36 points, and he did some other things in that game as well that were pretty amazing. But what was your takeaway here?
I mean, Arkansas needed every bit of Darius Acuff Jr.'s scoring burst, just to get out alive. High Point refused to go away. It was a fun game. Kept throwing punches and made Arkansas every single possession. But when the game tightened, Acuff, he took over like a guy who understands the moment, and I think that's on coaching with Coach Cal, obviously. And I think that's the difference between advancing and packing up, and that's what we saw there. I don't think that Arizona is going to have a problem with Utah State as well. They're playing like a team who knows exactly, who it is. They're deep, they're physical, and confident. They've got the size to overwhelm you and the guards to control the game late. They came out of round one looking like a group that's comfortable carrying the number one, next to their name. So Utah State, they're dangerous, because they really don't scare easily. They'll shoot it well, they'll move the ball. They don't get rattled by big brands. Their issue is going to be dealing with Arizona's length for 40 minutes. I think if they can't keep the Wildcats off the glass, this is going to get away from them. I think Arkansas is going to reward the win for the winner. So it's probably going to be Arizona. And I think that's the matchup where athleticism will be flying all over the floor. It's going to be a fun game, but like you said, Arizona's got to get through Utah State first, but I think they will handsomely. So,
yeah, I think they will as well. Darius Acuff, like you said, they needed every bit of that. They really did to get away from High Point, to get past the 12 seed High Point, which is cool. Acuff, by the way, joined Chris Paul as the only freshman to begin their NCAA tournament career with consecutive 20-point and at least 20 points and at least 5 assist games since freshman became fully eligible in 1973. That's per ESPN. So pretty impressive. Amazing that only 2 players have done that since 1973. That's called being there for your team, right? When they need you to step up. Looking forward to the likely Arizona-Arkansas matchup. I don't want to take anything away from Utah State, but I do believe that's what we're going to end up with. Let's go to the other side of this bracket real quick. Texas. A lot of people said Texas didn't belong, even though they came in kind of hot. Texas doesn't belong in this tournament. They're going to get beat by BYU. I bought into it. I said, okay, that's fine. They're probably, so I took. But here's the 11 seed Texas moving on, beating Gonzaga, 74-68. Surprised me a little bit. So now I think, Liz, I think we might see another surprise in the other part of this bracket. I think Miami is going to beat Purdue. I have Miami moving on and beating Purdue. I don't trust Purdue anymore. A couple years ago, I picked Purdue to win it all. You guys, they were a 1 seed. They had Zach Edey. They had everything, and they lost to a 16 seed. They lost to Fairleigh Dickinson. So I will never trust Purdue again. I will never pick them. No, I'll never pick them. But they hurt me bad, man. Ryan, Texas Gonzaga. First of all, did that game surprise you? And second, does this part of this bracket have a chance to get a little bit out of control, maybe with an 11-7 matchup in the Sweet 16?
Yeah, that'd be fun. Texas did surprise me, to be honest. They didn't just pull an upset. They walked into the building and took the game away from Gonzaga in the final minutes of the game. The Zags looked tight, looked unsure, and looked like a program that lost it, the edge it used to carry this time of year. And now, Texas, they played freer, they played tougher, more connected, and I think that's why they're moving on. Texas just looked really, really good, really fun. A team that had nothing to lose and everything to gain, and it was just a fun game for sure. I don't think Miami necessarily is going to pull off the upset, but what do I know? Nothing. I think Purdue's built around structure. They have great spacing, great execution. And make you defend every inch of the floor. They're not just flashy, but they're efficient as well, and they rarely beat themselves, which I think is important. Miami, I think, is the opposite. They're streaky, but they're aggressive, and they're at their best when the game gets chaotic, which they obviously can do if they get Purdue off of that execution a little bit. If this game turns into like a downhill guard-driven matchup, I think Miami can make things uncomfortable for Purdue for sure. I think the key is whether Purdue can keep Miami out of transition. If this becomes a half-court game, Purdue is going to advance. If Miami turns it into a run-and-gun fight, Texas might be staring at another upset opportunity in the Sweet 16, like you said. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Miami's going to have to use some athleticism to get out of the half court game because Purdue can just wear you down and really beat you in a lot of different ways in that. Raul Havana says Arizona disappoints every year. I don't know about this year. Do you think where do they disappoint though, Raul? I mean, do you think they lose to Utah State today? Do they not get to the Sweet 16? I think they're just so complete. I think and you're right. I mean, recent tournament history does suggest that could be a possibility, but I just think they're so good this year. TK, Texas, Gonzaga, and then just Miami, Purdue. What are your thoughts on this side of the bracket? Could we have an 11-7 matchup in Sweet 16? I don't know. I mean, could happen, right?
Well, I'm feeling a lot more confident in Texas, seeing as that they pulled off the upset against Gonzaga last night.
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit high on the U as well. I do think that they match up very well against Purdue. I do think that they have a chance to pull off the upset against Purdue as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting game. Another close one that's more than likely going to go down to the wire. I really hope that this is probably the most exciting Sunday in the history of March Madness. I really do, especially with the way I'm talking today. I know I sound annoying as hell, but I definitely think Texas-Miami matchup is going to hit like crack in the 80s. But I want to give Miami a little bit of focus right now. Considering that they are the 7th seed going up against the 2 seed, I just wanted to go ahead and just highlight a few things really quick. Give me a second here. Sorry about that.
You're all good.
Wi-Fi's acting really strange right now. You guys still got me?
You're here. We got you.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So I'm looking at how these guys handle things during the Missouri game. You get 24 points from Malik Renault. You get 17 from Trey Donaldson, 15 from Shelton Henderson. You hope that you could get this type of balance yet again against the Purdue Boilermakers. I think they will. But at the same time, you had quite a few guys struggling. 3 guys in double figures. You had 8 players log minutes for you in total. So, again, with the rotation, with the production of other players outside of those 3 young men that I named, you hope they step it up today in a tough game against Purdue. I think they will. Again, we got to wait and see, though.
Yeah, listen, I've said it before. If you're a Miami of Ohio fan, but Purdue head coach Matt Painter had some words for Miami of Ohio head coach Travis Steele just regarding the whole scheduling thing. So maybe, you get some revenge by proxy. It's not Miami of Ohio, but it's Miami. So maybe Miami can beat Purdue and you go, hey, I feel a little bit better about that. I thought that was a weird call out, but whatever. You'll have that this time of year. It's not called March Madness for nothing, right? Let's move on to the Midwest bracket. Midwest bracket's going to be kind of live today. Only one game yesterday, St. Louis and Michigan. Michigan handled their business as a 1 seed. Michigan looks really, really good. I'm not afraid to say it as an Ohio State fan. They're tough. They're easily the top. Well, they're a 1 seed. They're clearly one of the top 2 or 3 teams left in this. I'm not going out on a limb. That's not like a hot take or anything, but they're just really good. They're really complete. They remember the start to their season. Michigan was they were blowing everybody out. If you guys remember, they started, 14, 15-0. And I mean, I don't think they had a close game until maybe the game that they lied. It just every night I would look at the score and it was like 104 to 63 and 91 to 15. I was wild. And I thought, man, Michigan could be an absolute problem. And here they are as a 1 seed in the Midwest, continuing to be a problem. Like I said, beat St. Louis 95 to 72. It's just, again, kind of close first half in this game, like some of the other games have been, but they pulled away. Yeah, it's fine. Michigan, just doing Michigan things. They'll play the winner of Texas Tech and Alabama. Like I said, there's a lot still going on in this. You've got Virginia, Tennessee, Iowa State, Kentucky going on today. So I guess give me your thoughts on Michigan, St. Louis first. I'll go with you, TK. Let's go back with you first. And then kind of give me your thoughts on the rest of this region going forward. Just a lot of action today.
Michigan State versus Louisville was was pretty tight there in the first half. Obviously, Michigan State was able to ride things out behind the 21 points from Ryan Conwell. Oh, sorry, my apologies. 21 points from Cohen Carr of the Michigan State Spartans. So, I just think that
what do you think about Michigan?
Michigan. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
You're all right. That's okay. You going out? Yeah, you're doing your own thing. Sometimes you got to branch out and do your own thing. I don't mind it.
I'm sorry. Michigan looked great in the game against St. Louis. I definitely had them on fraud watch, but they proved themselves true against St. Louis. Robbie Avila and those guys weren't able to do much of anything at all.
Yeah,
they're still looking like the master class of college football, or college basketball right now. Oh my God. So for them, Texas Tech and Alabama. Guys, this game confuses me a little bit. Again, 4 versus a 5. I mean, in these games, if the lower seed does win, can you really call it an upset? Being only 1 seed apart. These guys are very adjacent to one another as far as team makeup and obviously their records. So, this yet again. Another tough game that I see going down to the wire. I personally have Texas Tech making the upset today. Again, would not be surprised if Alabama pulled it out. But this region is really interesting because I know a lot of people are expecting Michigan to come out on top, and Texas Tech and Alabama have both been pretty decent teams to watch throughout this tournament so far. So this Texas Tech Alabama game is going to say a lot for this bracket moving forward. So,
yeah, I think Alabama, without their star Aiden Holloway, I think that's going to make a difference when the numbers start to get a little closer together, right? As you move on in the tournament, I think your opponent's seed gets a little bit lower. I think they could run into some problems against Texas Tech, but still a pretty good basketball team, even without Holloway. But obviously that does play a role. Ryan, what'd you think? Michigan, St. Louis, surprised that Michigan pulled away. I don't know. I mean, they're just such a good team. I'm not really that surprised, I guess. But how do you feel about the rest of this? And again, the rest of this region is still wide open. We've got Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, Iowa State, got plenty going on with Texas Tech and Alabama. What are your thoughts on the Midwest right now and Michigan and just overall?
I mean, first off, Michigan completely overpowered St. Louis. Their length and rim protection completely dictated the game. They overwhelmed St. Louis with their length and physicality, controlled the paint, and blocked everything in sight. When you're getting that kind of rim protection, they're a completely different team. St. Louis had no answers inside, and every run that they tried to make was shut down immediately. Michigan played downhill for 40 minutes and looked like a team built for the second weekend. So, it wasn't very great game. In terms of Alabama and Texas Tech, it's a toss up for me. Alabama wants to play fast. They shoot early. You make you chase them. When they're hitting threes, they can be anyone in the country. I think when they're cold, they can look very ordinary. Texas Tech is built on toughness. They defend, they rebound, they make you earn everything. Their challenge is, keeping Alabama from, getting comfortable from deep. If they can turn this into a physical, low possession game, they've got a real chance. Regardless, I think Michigan is looming. Michigan's size is, will make, regardless of who plays this next matchup, a Sweet 16 matchup that will be fascinating, I think. Michigan looks like an absolute powerhouse, especially in the paint. So, do you want me to continue, or are we gonna?
I would love it if you want to continue. By all means.
Tennessee, Virginia, another good matchup. Obviously, winner's going to play the Iowa State, Kentucky. I think this is like a contrast in identity. Virginia wants to squeeze the life out of the game. They want to have a slow pace, long possessions, force you into tough shots. Tennessee wants to attack. They want to pressure, and they use their athleticism to create mismatches. I think the key is whether Tennessee can stay patient. If they settle for early jumpers, Virginia will drag them into the mud, I think. If Tennessee stays disciplined and uses their physicality, they can break Virginia's rhythm for sure. The winner is going to play Iowa State or Kentucky. Iowa State is one of the most, connected defensive teams left in the field. I think they rotate, they communicate, and they make you uncomfortable for 40 minutes. Their offense, I don't think necessarily is flashy, but it's efficient enough when their defense is dictating the game. Kentucky is the wild card, I think. They've got the talent. They've got, the shot makers. They've got the athleticism to beat anyone. Their issue, I think, is consistency. You don't always know which version of Kentucky is going to show up. If Iowa State can control the tempo, I think they're going to advance. If Kentucky guards get loose, this becomes a shoot-off. I think that's where Kentucky's going to thrive. So either way, it's going to be a fun matchup. For the Sweet 16. So,
yeah, I agree. This is kind of one of the most intriguing regions. Maybe it's just because there are so many games still to be played today. I don't know. We just don't really know what's going on as far as getting to the Sweet 16. But yeah, I think Michigan looks really, really complete. Not quite Arizona complete. I think Arizona is a really good basketball team. But like Raul said, Arizona has lately the trend has been that they've disappointed. So. We'll see what happens. But yeah, going forward, listen, I enjoy all the games today. They're about to tip off right now, I'd imagine. I think like 12:20, 12:30 they get started. So it may even be playing right now. I'm not sure. But yeah, enjoy those games today. This is the best, probably Thursday through Sunday that doesn't involve anything with college football as far as sports go all year. I love March Madness. I love the beginning of the tournament, even though I don't always get to watch as much regular season college basketball as I would love to. I still the first 2-4 days of March Madness are a lot of fun. So I think we're gonna let's just pull that down. Oh hey TK, what's up? Sorry about that. Anyway, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna switch gears. That's enough basketball for the day. We'll let the games kind of speak for themselves. But by the way, Ryan, I wanted to say Michigan with 9 blocked shots in that game.
Insane, bro. Yeah.
It's just wild. Forced, St. Louis to shoot 32 threes, which they didn't even make a third of those. And they were 10 of 32 the last time I saw. But yeah, that's the last time I saw. The game's not still going on. Although to some of those guys that had those 9 shots blocked, it might feel like the game's still going on. Let's hear from our friends at sportsmemorabilia.com, and then we'll take a break. Like I said, we'll be back. Just give us about 6 minutes or so here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll hear from our friends at Sports Memorabilia. We'll go to break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Browns acquisitions. They were busy during the free agency period. They actually did some things, made some moves, a couple little trades, little signings here that I thought were sneaky good. Nothing crazy. They didn't blow you away. They didn't go out and get any of the top 5 or 6 free agents out there on the board, but I thought they did well. Maybe we'll see what Ryan Mosser thinks. We'll see what TK thinks when we're back here on the Inside Edge Network on the Sunday Sports Show. We'll be right back, guys. Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com. Oh, there you go. And we thank our sponsors, especially Mosser Moments. We have to thank, because we've got one of them right here. We have to thank him. Every time I hear that read, I'm like, I know that guy. I know him. But we do thank our sponsors: Alley Rose Fragrances, Fanatics, SportsMemorabilia.com, Dubby Energy Drinks, and Mosser Moments. Quite literally couldn't do most of this without them, and we couldn't do it without you. So we thank you for being here with us as well on a Sunday now afternoon, watching. And I know it's a tough time of the year in sports. We're dwindling from a field of 64. We're going to be down to 16, and now the games come. They get a little more spread out, a little fewer and further between, but that's okay. We're going to keep it rolling because we're going to talk about the Browns. We're always we can always find a reason to talk about the Browns. They keep themselves in the news cycle, whether it's ridiculously proposing that the NFL allow you to trade picks 5 years out instead of the current 3 years, which, Ryan, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you about that. I feel like this means the Browns are up to no good. I've talked about it with TK, talked about it with Eli a little bit this week on primetime as well. I don't know what your feelings are. Do you have any feelings on the Browns proposing the rule change to trade picks 5 years out at all? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Listen, as a connoisseur of being a GM on video games and making trades in fantasy football, I know it's not really necessarily related or not, but I freaking love it. Give me 5 first-round picks. I'm not saying a lot of people are afraid. I think, the Browns are going to trade all their first-round picks and try to get a guy, or I think you could look at it this two ways. Maybe eventually they come to the decision that they want to trade Myles Garrett. And 3 first-round picks to some people might not be good enough, especially after he just broke the sack record, especially after he's a 2-time, NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe they want 4 picks. Maybe they want 5 picks. Unrealistic because we've never seen that before, but nonetheless, that could open the possibility. Another side of this, maybe they are looking like, let's see, just in order of trading future picks for somebody. Oh, hey, we'll give you our 2030 pick or our 2032 pick because, that's 5 years down the road. Who gives a crap? That's going to be another GM's problem because our Browns GM is going to get fired for sucking. So it doesn't matter. So, I mean, they're punting down the road in order to possibly get access now, which I think could be beneficial. It is taboo. I mean, I don't think any sports league has up to 5 years. I think I think the NFL is more lenient than anything. The MLB, you can't even trade picks, and the NBA, you can't trade back-to-back or consecutive picks in the first round. So, I mean, I can see it. I like it. I think it's fun. It can open up more fun possibilities of playing, pretend GM, but why not?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it just makes a lot of people nervous. And listen, if this were Kobe Altman and the Cavs, I'd say, yeah. I mean, he's shown a propensity to be able to figure out how to trade. First of all, I think it's harder to trade in the NBA. It's just harder, right? There are just more things you have to match. Whatever.
It's with the second apron too. So
there's everything. I mean, there's just the different layers of everything to it. But I think it makes people nervous because Andrew Berry, I mean, the last time we traded a significant amount of picks, we ended up with a quarterback that's played 9 games and not played any of those 9 games very well. And then, by the way, at the time, we paid him a record amount of money for quarterbacks to play those 9 games not very well, and to tear an Achilles twice and to have I don't know, whatever. I'm making myself feel bad. Let's not talk about this anymore. But it does make me nervous. I think it makes me nervous. It makes a lot of people nervous because I think that means it signals to people that they're thinking about moving Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward or whoever. I mean, you're not going to get a bunch of picks for Denzel Ward right now, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, to want an incredible amount of picks for Myles Garrett is understandable. I don't think you're going to have anyone offer more than 3, especially first-round picks. You might get 2 first-round picks and a couple of seconds or whatever from a team, but maybe 3 first-round picks and a third, something like that. But it's just, I don't know. Oh, hold on. TK is saying 55. 512. No, I'm
5
losing.
total first round picks. He's saying.
Oh, okay, that's what he's saying. 512 first round picks. Oh, yeah, and I get it. I've seen people comment that they went 10 first round picks for Myles Garrett. Chill. I mean, they're not going to. What do you think teams are going to do? They're not going to give up their whole franchise. But yeah, I get it. I mean, you want a big return for Myles Garrett. It's good that if he's requesting a trade still, he's keeping it internal, which I think is good for the return if they're going to do it. Because when teams know that he wants out, I've said it before. Now you're trading from a place of necessity rather than a place of strength. You got to get rid of him. No one's going to give you 3, 4, whatever, however many first round picks, 2 at the most. So we'll see. I mean, we saw Max Crosby almost go for 2 first round picks. So
and Myles is much better than Max Crosby. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at, you can cherry pick the stats. Max Crosby has more quarterback pressures, I think, since 2019. But Myles Garrett has clearly gotten home more. So it's like I said, it's whatever. You can cherry pick the stats to make it look like however you want. But yeah, I think Myles Garrett is the more impactful player, the better player.
Yeah, I mean, sacks are more significant than QB pressures. I'm sorry.
Sure they are. Sure they are. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, you can make that look any way you want it to look when you move stats around and move the goalposts and whatever. Right. So whatever. Let's just talk about the Browns and what they have acquired, not what they are acquiring. Let's talk. Where do you want to start? Let's start. I guess we just start on the offensive line. Zion Johnson, Ryan. 3-year, $49.5 million deal, almost $32.5 million guaranteed. What does that mean for the Browns? Are they looking at Zion Johnson at coming in and being an immediate starter on that offensive line? Is this one of the guys that he's been a little up and down, according to PFF? Had some decent grades, a steady, kind of a reliable guy. He's a smart guy. By all accounts. I think that may be what you need, depending on whatever Todd Monken's going to do with this offense. I mean, how do you feel about Zion Johnson, Ryan?
I mean, your first question, is he going to be a long-term part? I mean, they paid him 3 years, almost $50 million. So, I mean, the Browns didn't go necessarily bargain hunting at guard for sure. They went after a player, I think, who has real pedigree. I mean, he was a first-round pick because he checks every box you want in a modern interior lineman. He's got a lower, thick lower body, a powerful core, and a technician's approach, to hand usage. I think he's built like somebody who's supposed to win in tight spaces. Obviously, his time with the Chargers was uneven, but the situation was a revolving door of coaches, schemes, injuries around him. The important part is that the traits, I don't think, ever disappeared. He still, fires off the ball with force. He still plays with balance. He still understands how to win, the leverage battles. When he's locked in, he looks like the kind of guard who can control the interior of a drive for sure. I think what Cleveland is betting on is simple. I mean, put him in a stable environment, which I don't know if we have one yet, but in a stable environment, give him a clear role and, let him grow into the player that he was drafted to be. At 26 years old, he's nowhere near his ceiling for sure. And the Browns are, paying for both the player and he is now and the one who they think he can become. In terms of strength, I think he's got heavy hands with real stopping power. When he lands his punch, I think defenders definitely feel it. He can stun interior rushers and reset the line of scrimmage. I think he does have a strong anchor against power. Bull rushers don't move him easily. He sinks, he absorbs, he holds his ground. I think he's smart and disciplined and rarely out of place. I think he's durable and dependable. I mean, he's been available for sure. He's been playing through tough stretches. He shows up. I think that's important. His weaknesses, obviously, his lateral quickness can be stressed for sure. I think like elite interior athletes can win with suddenness and challenge them horizontally. And his feet also can stall on contact a little bit. His lower body stops. He can get locked into defenders longer than he should. I think he fits the Browns identity of winning through an offensive line. We want to go back to that for sure. Cleveland wants to get back to being the team that controls the game up front. I think Zion Johnson can help them do that. He brings power to the run game and stability in the pocket. He moves bodies in gap schemes, and holds firm in pass protection as well. Exactly what the offense needs. He's not going to be the best offensive lineman on the field or on our offensive line, but he's going to be a great complementary piece. I think he matches with Todd Monken and Schweitzer's vision as well. They want guards who are physical, who are reliable, and versatile enough to handle both zone and gap concepts. And, he can do all of those. I think he's going to make life easier for whoever the quarterback becomes. The interior pressure has been a problem for 2 years now. I think he's going to help erase that for sure.
Yeah, he hasn't been great in the pass blocking side of his game,
right?
But a really, really good run blocker. And I think if you're gonna try to establish that identity to be a team that controls the line of scrimmage and can run the football, I think you have to be built like a team that can run the football. The Browns had some weird issue. I mean, it's like for a while they were built like a team that wanted to run the football, but then they would throw it 55 times a game. Then they couldn't run the football last year. It was really confusing. So yeah, I think. I think the addition of Johnson is good. TK, is this you're on board with Zion? Wow, words. You are on board with Zion Johnson and other various sounds that I made out of my face, right?
Listen, my thoughts as far as the Zion Johnson signing are, I'm a little mum on it, to be quite honest with you. I was not impressed with this kid at all. During his tenure with the Los Angeles Chargers. I remember this guy went 17th overall in the draft not too long ago. I forget exactly which draft it was, but he really hasn't been that great of a player, to be honest. Now he is still young at the age 26. No reason to give up on the kid yet. I was just a little flustered that we gave him $50 million and just let Elijah Vera Tucker freelance to New England like it wasn't nothing.
I agree. Yep.
That one really bothered me. New England gave AVT $42 million. I definitely thought there was something that we could have done.
Well, there has to be mutual interest, and sometimes I wonder if.
Very true. I'm sure Elijah Vera Tucker didn't want a damn thing to do with the screwy ass organization, so he made the move that was right for him. Leaving another screwy organization in the New York Jets and spurning the living hell out of them by going to the New England Patriots. So I'm sure that burned like hell. But anyway, this is a young man that has struggled with injuries in the past. He missed the last 2 seasons with a tricep tear, and I think it was a back or a knee the other year for AVT. So congratulations to the New England Patriots for being able to net him.
Yeah.
I do not think it is over by any stretch of the imagination just because we gave Zion Johnson $50 million. I do think he can improve. I do think he can be a solid part of this offensive line. You got to think, you have guys like Elton Jenkins and Titus Howard on this line as well.
Yeah.
So I do expect an improvement along the offensive line as a whole. Another thing that has bothered me, we haven't even reached out to Taylor Decker. Not once. That made absolutely no sense to me as well, considering that we do still need a left tackle. That kind of gives me a weird feeling that the Monroe Freeland buzz that we've been getting lately is legit.
Yeah.
I do not like that. Is the young man a good player? Yes, he is. He's still very much Mitch Trubisky-like. As far as the starting experience on that offensive line for the University of Georgia, granted, it was a great year. You're only a 1-year starter, dude. There's no way in hell that I'm taking a 1-year starter with the 6th overall pick with as many times as we have screwed up in this damn draft recently. There's no reason for it. I do have a general feeling that he will be available at 24. I don't think he gets to the second round. He might be there at 24. Let me reiterate myself, because I do say some dumb shit on here and I don't catch myself in time, so I forgive myself. I apologize for that.
Don't apologize. No, that's my favorite thing about the show. I love saying some dumb shit. It's fine.
But yeah, to not reach out to Taylor Decker, to basically not even look AVT's direction, a little a little on edge about that, but I will give Andrew Berry credit for addressing what it was that we needed. The very first move was to trade that 5th-round pick for Titus Howard.
Yeah.
But it's a deal.
Well, let's talk about Titus Howard. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But let's talk about it. Brought up Elton Jenkins. Let's talk about Titus. Did you like the trade? I mean, a 5th-rounder for Titus Howard seemed reasonable, right?
Freaking loved it.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it. This was a cat that gave up 0 sacks all season long. And I know we associate right tackles with run blocking more than we do pass blocking. That's understandable. I get all of that. With the game today, both tackles need to be able to pass block at a high level. And that is what Titus Howard did. I don't give a rat's ass about them PFF grades. Those guys are a bunch of loony, cucky boys anyway. Who gives a damn what they think? To be quite honest, because their criteria changes every 15 minutes, and it's really annoying. Nobody wants to keep up with all that crap. Anyway, the offensive line addressing that. Hey, listen, we needed this, okay? Because we were complaining about it the entire time up to free agency. Oh my good golly freaking goodness. We have to replace all 5 offensive linemen with little to no money at all. We're going to have to go back to restructuring contracts again, kicking the can further down the damn road so that we can cut our foot on it later. So, there are mixed feelings, but overall, I would like to say that Andrew Berry did a decent job this free agency. I was very happy that he did not go for the big fish, because you didn't win from that big fish before and you got your ass bit, didn't you? Oh, you sure did. You got chewed the hell up. So, good job not going for the big fishes, because I swear I would have crashed the hell out if we would have gave $30 million annually to Alec Pierce. I probably wouldn't be here. To be quite honest, that makes absolutely no sense. Chris Ballard,
a lot of money,
Chris Ballard and Carly Ursay-Gordon, especially, you both should be ashamed at that move you made. There is no way in hell that you sat there and gave a man who just had his 1,000-yard season, and you got rid of your consistent number 1 receiver for $10 million, and then you sit there and send him to Pittsburgh. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm not fond of them at all right now.
Now we
got another 6'4" guy in black and gold that can give us all PTSD next season. So thanks a lot, you jerks. Anyway, overall, I like
the Ursay family, the PFF. Everybody's taking it to everybody. They're not even. I was gonna say catching strays. These are direct shots, man. These aren't even strays.
Yes. This dude, like, really? Yeah. Thanks a whole lot. Like, I don't mind you guys wasting your money and doing irresponsible shit. That's fine. Don't sit there and add to our division rival while we still completely suck and we're trying to figure things out. So thanks for nothing there. And I hope it doesn't work out.
TK, you remember hold on. Remember the Trent Richardson for a first round? They owed us one, man. Honestly, I feel like we're even now. They owed us one.
We were really even when it came to that trade, because you think about it, you traded a bust for a bust. The only thing is, if you go into the context of that bust, you had a guy that couldn't play, and then you had a guy that couldn't play who was a goddamn cokehead. So, maybe there is something to be said for. But again, Elton Jenkins, Titus Howard, getting Quincy Williams for 2 years, $13 million was very nice.
Slow down. We're gonna get to that.
Real quick. You know that Trent Richardson pick that we traded? You know who he took with that first round pick, right?
Yeah, the cokehead boy from Texas A&M,
Johnny Manziel. So I feel like they got the last laugh anyway. So
they kind of did. They watched us. And I cheered like a little schoolgirl when we drafted him anyway. I thought we were actually getting.
Bro, I thought he was going to be a Pro Bowler's rookie year.
Carly Ursay was disguised. She was the homeless person. She was disguised as the homeless person. She was the one that playing chess out here, or whatever. That's fine. So you mentioned and how'd you feel, Ryan? You were good with the Titus Howard trade, I'm assuming, for a 5th round pick. I thought that was excellent.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's going to be a great addition to the right side of the line for sure. So
okay. Well, let's talk about Elton Jenkins, because I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here. Whatever. TK, you're doing a good job with my segues, TK. I don't even have to do anything. But I was going to also say you associate right tackles with more run blocking than here in Cleveland. We associate right tackles with moving them to the left side and praying that works. So
we got
it's what. Yeah, we got to stop doing that. But Elton Jenkins, Ryan, I'm gonna go back to you on Elton Jenkins. How do you feel? I don't know, 2 years, 24 million. Good.
I love this signing. This might be my favorite signing of the offseason, probably tied with Quincy Williams. But I think that Jenkins is the kind of offensive lineman that every coach dreams about. I mean, he solves every problem before they show up. He's played guard, he's played tackle, he's played center at all the highest levels. He's played all three, legitimately high level. There aren't many linemen in the league with like a true 5-position capability, and even fewer who've done it well enough to earn Pro Bowl recognition. Take that for what you will, of course. But he's one of them. I think the Browns brought him in with a very clear purpose, stabilize the middle of the line after, missing out on Tyler Linderbaum, which with that contract, thank God they missed out on Tyler Linderbaum. Instead of panicking or settling, they pivoted to a veteran who understands, protections, communications. He can communicate cleanly. He brings a level of calm that the offense desperately needed, I think. I don't think he's just a center. He's a traffic controller, a communicator, a guy who keeps the interior from falling apart when, defenses start throwing exotic looks. I think he's got his strengths. His first off, that 5-position versatility. Think like Chris Hubbard, but actually good. A starter. You can play anywhere on the line, not just in an emergency, but actually efficiently. He's proven that he can perform at a high level at all 5 spots. His footwork and balance is great. He can stay square. He stays patient. He rarely gets knocked off of his spot. He's really, really, really smart. He identifies fronts. He calls out pressures. He keeps the interior organized. So look at him like almost like JC Tretter, like the quarterback of the offensive line. And Tretter also came from the Packers. So if that's any indication of what we're getting with Jenkins, sign me up for sure, because Tretter was fantastic on the center of that offensive line for the Browns for years. Weaknesses, I don't think he's necessarily a pure mauler. He is strong, but he's not the type who's going to forklift a 330-pound defensive tackles off the ball every snap. Also, you can struggle against massive nose tackles in straight power. The biggest, heaviest interior defenders can test them when they get a full head of steam. I personally think that he's going to stabilize the center position immediately for the Browns. Then the Browns needed somebody who could handle protections for a quarterback room that's still finding its footings. Jenkins is going to give them that. He brings the intelligence and communication. The offense has struggled with free rushers and miscommunications for almost as long as I can remember. No, I'm just kidding. For under the tenure of Kevin Stefanski for the past couple of years, I think he'll clean that up. He's going to give them flexibility if injuries hit, which I think is important. He fits the physical assignment sound identity that Cleveland wants. He's not flashy, but he's reliable, tough, and I think technically sharp as well. I think this is a grown man signing. He's a stabilizer. He's a problem solver. He's the kind of veteran who raises the floor of an entire offensive line. I'm really, really happy with this signing.
Okay, yeah, Elgton Jenkins, I love it. Like you said, coming to play the center. I'm excited to get George Warhop working with these guys, this group of guys. Right. I think, Johnson, again, intelligence, Jenkins, intelligence. We talked about it. I think that's a key trait. I mean, people overlook that. Yeah, you want some big maulers on the offensive line, but you've got to have guys that can communicate and work to stop, stunts and whatever else that's going on up front. You've got to be able to work together and pretty seamlessly and, at a pretty quick clip. So got to pick that up fast. Elgton Jenkins, TK, you're good with Elgton Jenkins?
Absolutely love it. I will go out on the limb to say that Elgton Jenkins is the Black Bruce Matthews as far as versatility along the offensive line and production amongst said versatility along the offensive line. This is one of the moves that makes you happy with what Andrew Berry has been able to do this offseason so far. That move made 110,000%. Now, look, here's a thing that we don't really mention too much. Green Bay has let go a multitude of very good centers to the point where any center that leaves Green Bay, I want him. I absolutely want him. I'm thinking about when they let go of Corey Linsley not too long ago. Block, love you, buddy. And he went to the Chargers and was still a very good player, borderline All-Pro. I think he did make one All-Pro as a member of the Chargers. Obviously, our favorite, our guy, Joseph Carl Tretter, otherwise known as JC, he was our center for 7 years and was absolutely amazing in the trenches for us. I had a good feeling that he was going to be a great player because he was solid with the Packers. He turned to be everything and so much more for us. It's almost criminal that the initial contract that we got him for was 3 years, just above $17 million. Like, we really paid that man $5.5 million to be our center. As horrible as we are, man, talk about a deal. But any center leaves the Packers, I want him, especially if we need a center, because they're really good. And Elgton Jenkins is going to be the next chapter of that. You think about when Marco Rivera was their center and they let him go. That was more of an injury concern type of thing. And he was a little longer in the tooth at that time. So, he had done his due diligence for them and, borderline Hall of Fame player, all pro, things of that nature. But yeah, to nail a former starting Green Bay Packers center, that was huge. Because I just love their offensive line as a whole, to be quite honest. But yeah, definitely that man in the middle means a lot to that Packers organization. You think about the stability that they've had at the quarterback position. Obviously, you think guys like Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and of course Jordan Love. Now, you guys have had 4 quarterbacks in 60 years, and a big part of that is the guy that is handing the football off to them. You got to have a fantastic pivot man. We got him. Very happy that we did.
Yeah, well, see, that's where the Browns win, because we've had 60 quarterbacks in 4 years. So take that. Wait, that's not a good thing, is it? One that doesn't move the needle a whole ton. Ryan, I'll start with you on this one. The Browns re-signed Tevin Jenkins. He obviously took over for Wyatt Teller. He's a little bit backwards of Zion Johnson. Not really so good against the run, in run blocking. Not against the run. That doesn't make sense. Well, I guess he is against the run. He's not good at run blocking, but not so good at run blocking, but better at pass blocking. How do you feel about just keeping Tevin Jenkins on the roster? I mean, you need offensive linemen. Probably a good move to not let him go, but again, not such a needle mover as far as moves go.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, obviously, it doesn't create a social media earthquake, but I think it does matter inside the building. He's prime at 28 still. He's still, the kind of interior lineman who changes the personality of your offense when he's right. I think he does play with force. He plays with an edge, and he brings a level of nastiness that the line has been missing since injuries have piled up. I mean, maybe like the Walmart version of Wyatt Teller, I would say. I mean, his career obviously hasn't been smooth. He's bounced between positions. He's dealt with injuries, lived through coaching changes. But none of that, changes the fact that when he's on the field, I think he's a decently impactful guard, especially one that will bring continuity to the line. At least he's been in the building. At least he's not one of the guys. He's not DeJuan Jones or Luke Whippler or Zach Zenter, who are either injured or a healthy scratch. Like he's played. I don't think it was about sentiment. I think it was about just keeping a proven physical starter in the building and avoiding the chaos of trying to replace just another position with a rookie or a bargain bin veteran. I think he gives a tone setting setup kind of player and at least continuity. We'll see if Wilcox can bring the best out of him, but I do like that at least it's just another body we don't have to fill later on. So
okay, TK, how you feel about the Browns rolling back prices with Walmart Wyatt with Tevin Jenkins here?
Be quite honest, not happy at all with that. Tevin Jenkins looked lost last year. I remember watching him. I'm just during the end of that season, I'm just like, look at 74. TK, pay close attention to 74. Does this look anything like the Tevin Jenkins in Chicago, like the Tevin Jenkins at Oklahoma State? And the answer was an overwhelming hell no. I mean, he just looked out of sorts. It looked like he was confused. It looked like he didn't think he needed to be out there, and in all reality, probably didn't.
To be fair, the whole offensive line looked that way too, though. The whole season, so the whole offense did. So
the right guard rotation thing was weird as hell. I I've never seen that happen in a game before. Like, why are you rotating offensive linemen? Offensive linemen have to be out there for every single play. At least that's the game that I knew growing up as a Jit here in Northeast Ohio. So, the whole rotation thing, hopefully that won't be the same thing this year. Todd Monken better not do that shit this year. Anyway, I do think he can get back to being the perceived mauler that he was looked to be. Wow. Out of the University of Oklahoma State. He was decent as a starter for a number of years with the Chicago Bears. Initially, I was happy at the signing because we had got him last year. I thought it was going to be to replace Wyatt Teller then. And even then, I was kind of uneasy about it because we all love Doug T. We all love Doug T. The nasty blocks that he threw. I still have dreams of when he threw Tyrann Mathieu on his ass out there in KC during that playoff game. And Tyrann jawed with him for a minute, and then he goes back to the huddle. And he's like, "Hey, 77, put me on my ass." I miss that. I miss that a ton. And I think all of Cleveland is going to miss it. But at the same time, I definitely want to give Tevin Jenkins some grace. He was put in a weird situation by a weird-ass head coach who's now coaching in a weird-ass city. So we'll see how that works. So now, the offensive line as a whole, still got a little bit of work to do, but overall, I'm pretty good with it. I think Tevin Jenkins will be a solid starter. I hope so. I mean, if you let Wyatt Teller's agent is, talking smack to us, the Browns are going to wish that they re-signed Wyatt Teller. Yeah, I bet we will, but I'm hoping that we don't. So.
Yeah, we may. I mean, the fact that I think Wyatt and Charlie Teller are just a Cleveland couple, really. I mean, they're it's a good Cleveland family. Good to have around. But yeah, I understand that. Yeah, you got to go somewhere, and right now it's Tevin Jenkins. That's where we are. Let's stay on the offensive side of the ball real quick. We don't have to get into these next couple of signings a ton because I feel like it's pretty easy to they're pretty transparent. I mean, Jack Stoll, tight end. He's not coming here to catch passes. He's coming here to help shore up the blocking along the offensive line, right? Just find the weakness. Put Stoll out there, maybe run him in motion, whatever, and let him take on a block in the middle of the line, whatever. But I guess TK, I'll start with you. Jack Stoll, how'd you feel about just again not a huge like Ryan said, no social media earthquakes or anything like that, but a solid blocker, right?
Absolutely. Thought it was a very good signing. You think Todd Monken's offense is predicated on using 3 tight ends. One, you need to do everything tight end, and that is Harold Fandon Jr. Secondly, you need the blocking tight end. Jack Stoll is going to be able to fill that role in significantly. And third, and most importantly, you're going to need the pass-catching tight end that you can line up on the line, in the slot, out wide. That, I think, will come in the draft.
Okay.
Which round? I don't know. I don't think it'll be the first round. It might not even be the second round.
Probably not. Yeah.
But, I do think we will find a pass-catching tight end somewhere. I was kind of sad that we missed out on bringing both New Orleans tight ends in as Foster Moreau made his way to Houston with our beloved Dub T.
Hey, he'll end up getting traded here eventually, TK. That's the way. That's Browns, Texans. He'll end up here.
That's one of the sickest relationships in history. I swear to God. That's like Sid Vicious and Nancy. But anyway, we get that pass-catching tight end to fill in that third TE role. That's going to be incredible. I do think there are still a couple guys in free agency that we could possibly look at that we can get cheap on the dollar. But, as far as right now, I do think the tight end room is pretty decent. We're starting to form things out a little bit. Once you get that third and final guy, I think we should be okay. I'd like to, if you don't mind, shine a little bit of light on the Tylan Wallace signing. And listen, we haven't had a solid return man since the days of Travis Benson. If you want to go even further than that, Josh Cribbs.
Yeah, I was going to get there, but thank you. Yeah, sure.
Sorry about that, man. I was too excited about it because I've been looking at the special teams unit.
Okay.
And Granted, I was happy that we kept the kicking unit together. Rex Sunihana, Corey Bojorquez, and obviously Andre Schmidt. We need a returner. We have not had a consistent return man in years, and it's honestly become kind of miserable watching guys return punts in Brown and Norris. You watch Gage Larvadan do a ton of that last year. With his fair share of mistakes. There were a fair share of drop punts along the way.
So there were special teams problems last year?
I know, right? Why am I highlighting the obvious? But yeah, I like the Tylan Wallace signing. Add to that wide receiver room. Okay. Is he going to be another 3? I don't think so. Maybe a 4 or 5. But if he can contribute in that special teams game, whether it's kick or punt return or both, I'm hoping it's both. Please be both. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Didn't mean to go off the round.
Ryan, a couple questions for you. Jack Stahl at tight end. Obviously, I feel like that's blocking help. That's fine. We can talk about Tylan Wallace, and then next week, should we start the show with the end of the show? Did we just start with you? I'm just kidding. Sorry, TK, just kidding. But no, Ryan. Yeah, Jack Stahl, Tylan Wallace. We'll just keep the last couple offensive signings. Special teams offense, whatever / type of thing. I thought they were good. Just good guys to have in the cupboard, right?
Yeah, Wallace is great. I mean, obviously, we finally got a decent returner, since David Putney, actually. Him no matter what, just because we need a returner. I can't talk now. I lost my train of thought. Jack Stahl, whatever. I was trying to be funny. It did not land, nonetheless. Jack Stahl, I like the signing. He's an excellent inline blocker, probably one of the best in the NFL. And I think that's going to be a huge asset for Todd Monken. I mean, he gives Monken the versatility and heavier personnel. They can go 12 personnel without tipping or, run or pass, because Stahl can handle both responsibilities. And he's not obviously a catch first tight end, but he still has okay hands. He was going to let Harold Fenton Jr. Be the, matchup piece, as TK said. He'll line up wide, move around, and, attack defenses, while Stahl, handles the dirty work inside. I think he also strengthens the run game immediately. I think his blocking helps stabilize edges and gives the Browns more confidence running, behind, tight ends for sure. I think he's reliable, low maintenance, and, he's, I think, the perfect tight end too for this system. Cheap, physical, dependable, and aligned with the identity that Cleveland wants to build. So
it works. Yeah, I thought it was a good signing. You don't have to move the needle with every signing. Sometimes it's just depth, and it's finding those little pieces that you need. I mean, like you said, the inline block, just things like that you need are essential to winning football games. We haven't done a lot of that around here lately. So
I did like the AJ Epinesa signing as well. I thought that was pretty interesting. I think that'll be fun for just depth on the edge for sure. So
yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you about. Well, actually, I was going to go Quincy Williams next.
Both, yeah, I love both.
Just really good job. I mean, for the attention that you did pay to the defense, although that's fine. Quincy Williams is a good signing. 2-year deal for Williams. I thought I was a little surprised by that, honestly. I was excited by that. And then on the defense, also, like you said, Epinesa, TK. I think TK, have we talked about that? Have we talked about AJ Epinesa? I don't think we have. How did you feel about that signing?
I loved it. Another depth piece. I thought he was very productive with the limited role that he was given with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. I definitely think, you get behind Alex Wright, who was obviously going to be our starting left defensive end, especially after the year he had last year.
Yeah.
Very good in the run game, 5.5 sacks for him. Mm-hmm. But then you think about what AJ Epinesa was able to do. He was also a big factor in Buffalo's run defense. He also had 5.5 sacks last year. So this is very versatile defensive end, a little bit of do everything, not necessarily elite, but he is a solid player. Great depth piece to have, man. I was very delighted with that signing. Again, another good move by Andrew Berry, man.
Yeah, I thought they gave themselves some really good flexibility. They paid attention to the defensive line. The edge with Epinesa and then Kalia Davis, they signed 1 year, $3 million. I thought Davis is a good depth piece on the defense. He's just a good guy to rotate in. Maybe can help against the run a little bit. They struggled against the run. Right. That's Lee Collins went down and it all went bad after that. So I thought that was a good signing as well. And I guess just the only other one we didn't talk about was Daniel Thomas, more of a special teams kind of a thing, but again, like pieces that you need. Ryan, again, it doesn't really move the needle, but Daniel Thomas, I thought that again, a great move by the Browns, right?
Yeah, I honestly didn't even see that one, so I can't really talk about it too much. But special teams have been awful the last 2 years. I mean, I will take any piece that I can get on that special teams just to have a competent team. So yeah, I'm happy that they signed somebody who's going to be a specialist on special teams. That's awesome.
Yeah, fair enough. TK, you're good with Daniel Thomas again. Special teams depth piece. I mean, you got to have it.
Absolutely. I think he will challenge for the gunner position for the Cleveland Browns. Again, has been a significant contributor on special teams. You think of those guys that do the dirty work on special teams that don't get all of the glitz and glamour. Your Matthew Slater types, your Justin Hardy types, your Miles Killebrew types. Daniel Thomas is right up there with those cats. And he's going to be a significant difference maker on our special teams. Whether you have him on field goal block, you got him on punt block, punt return, whatever, he's going to make it happen. And I do think, yet again, another fantastic depth signing. This is a guy that has had significant in-game snaps as well. He's not just a special teams guy. This is a guy that can line up as a strong safety, play a little bit of free safety. You can put him in that slot position as well. This is definitely a very good signing. Another good move, another underrated move. We're going to come to like this guy quite a bit this year, I think.
So what changed? Because all of a sudden now you've got Andrew Berry and the Browns making these moves where they're signing not only depth pieces but versatile depth pieces, right? Like guys that fill multiple needs at once, and maybe not. They're not all pros. They're not going to be a Pro Bowl. Well, the Pro Bowl took a hit last year with some things, but they're not going to be like all pro guys. They're not going to be first team, second team, all pro, but they're versatile depth pieces that kind of fill multiple needs at once. Like, did Andrew Berry just figure it out, or did they start listening to Todd Monken a little bit when they say, hey, what do you need on your roster? Like, there seems to be like a marked difference now in the way that the Browns have handled this offseason versus the off seasons of the past.
I mean, maybe just new inside voices. I mean, like you said, Todd Monken's been around the NFL for a very long time, been around football in general. I think it wasn't Mike Rudenberg who talked about Quincy Williams like a week before they even decided to sign him. I didn't even get to talk about that real quick. I want to talk about Quincy Williams. He's my favorite signing of the free agency so far with the Browns. I think that he's one of those linebackers who plays like he's been launched out of a slingshot. Everything is sudden, everything is violent, everything is full throttle. I think you feel him when he arrives. You hear him when he arrives, and you notice him, even on plays when he doesn't make the tackle because he forces offenses to speed up their decisions. And I think that's awesome, combining him with Carson Schlesinger, who is one of the same kind of player. I think that, a lot of people talk about his, Quincy Williams being benched in New York. I think context matters with that. I think that's why we probably got him on a 2-year, $17 million contract at what is he, 30 years old. The defense collapsed in the moment that the Jets tore the core of the roster apart during the trade deadline. When you trade away your best defensive lineman, your best corner, the structure evaporates. So Quincy definitely wasn't the problem. He was stuck inside a unit that that pretty much stopped functioning. Cleveland looked past that noise and focused on the traits, and I'm telling you, those traits are top tier. Like I said, elite closing speed. He's a violent finisher. He's a natural blitzer, high motor, high urgency player, a veteran. Obviously, with a player like that, he can overrun plays a little bit. His coverage can be a little bit streaky, and sometimes he plays so fast that he loses leverage. But pairing him with Carson Schlesinger, oh my gosh! Especially, I think he matches Mike Rudenberg's vision for that linebacker room in general as well. He wants linebackers who don't hesitate. I think Quincy Williams is built for that style. He sees it, he goes and gets it, and he finishes the play. I think he replaces Devin Bush with a more range and more playmaking juice. I liked Bush this past year, of course. He was steady, but I think Williams is explosive. I think the Browns actually upgraded their athletic ceiling at the position, and I'm really, really excited about this guy. So
yeah, it's the range. Like you said, he reminds me of almost like a little mini Ryan Shazier. Like he's almost that sideline guy that Shazier was. And think about how your responsibilities change playing in the middle of a defense where what you do up front has crumbled because of a trade. What you do in the back has crumbled because of a trade. And now you're just in the middle of that trying to pick up the pieces. Like, of course that wasn't going to go well, right? Yeah, I don't know what you would have expected, but that's anyway. Those are like the major. We're not done yet. I mean, I'm sure the Browns are going to have something up their sleeve still. They're still trying to trade, draft picks, a quarter of a century out or whatever. They're going to keep proposing that rule, making it bigger and bigger. So whatever. We'll find out the Browns traded Myles Garrett for a 2046 first round pick from somebody pretty soon. Hopefully, among other things. But let's just, you know what? I was going to take a break. Let's not take a break. Let's just talk about what's on our minds. Let's get out of here. We're almost 2 hours in. Time has absolutely flown today. It does not feel like we've been talking sports for 2 hours. And I want to get you guys to some of these, March Madness games so you can watch and see who's going to be in the Sweet 16. So I don't care who starts. It's up to you guys. You guys can fight it out, or you can whatever. You can be nice. I don't care. You don't have to fight.
Let TK go first, please.
TK's going first. There it is. TK, tell me what's on your mind on this Sunday, this first day of spring, March 22nd, 2026, man.
Okay. Let's see. Well, yesterday I was thinking about our hometown basketball team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I was thinking to myself, granted, being a Cleveland fan can come with its scarring moments at times. I often wonder, am I being too hard on the Cleveland Cavaliers? I remember at one point in the season, we were barely breathing over 500. Today, we currently stand at 44-27. Some of these games, I think, don't impress me to the point where it's like, okay, are you mad that they didn't blow this team out? Are you mad that the process didn't look as clean as you thought maybe it should have? Or are you just worried about being let down in the future? I often ask myself this a lot. Like, am I being too hard on the Cavaliers? Am I not being hard enough on the Cavaliers? What exactly am I coming to suspect? I'm so confused about my team right now. And the biggest thing that I just want answered is, listen, are we really as good enough as we think we are? Forget health-wise, because, guys are going to come back. Guys are going to be ready in April, towards the middle or towards the end of April. I'm sure guys are going to be ready to go and, to be able to fill in minutes or what have you.
Yeah.
But am I just self-sabotaging myself right now as far as my thought process on where this basketball team is? And I can't really answer that. I don't think anyone can honestly answer that for me. Well, I'm sure there will probably be a few outspoken people that will probably help me out with that. But, at the same time, I'm just thinking, where do we stand right now? And I'm just constantly thinking about this. Like, are we going to advance this year? Or is it going to be some of the same old jizz? Is it going to be worse than some of the same old jizz? I really don't know. I don't know. That's what's on my narrow ass mind this morning, guys.
Just all Cavs right now, and whether they're good enough. That's fair. Ryan, tell me what you're thinking about, man.
Yeah, TK, I agree. By the way, it's a little unsettling, but nonetheless, here we are. All right, so mine's gonna be a little different. This is I'm a huge NCAA and just wrestling in general, just a fan. I've wrestled my whole life, and I think that the NCAA wrestling championships should be every bit as big as March Madness. And last night was the finals in Cleveland at Rocky Mortgage Fieldhouse, or whatever the heck it's called now. I don't even know. But it was absolutely electric. You had an atmosphere that felt like a championship fight. You had storylines exploding all over the arena. Freshmen, literally actual teenagers, taking over the biggest stage in college wrestling. The headline Jack Forrest, who didn't just win a national title from Oklahoma State, but owned the moment. He is a 17-year-old kid who was in high school 3 months ago, graduated early, went into college wrestling to have more competition, ended up going completely undefeated, and ended up winning the national championship last night at 17 years old. The first freshman to do it since Sergio Verga, his teammate, did it. It'd be Jesse Mendez from Ohio State, the two-time national champion going for his third. That freshman beat Jesse Mendez to actually be the first one to do it in 79 years. So we had two freshmen from Oklahoma State yesterday who went undefeated and won the national championship. championship in 79 years. Not only that, but Penn State was doing what Penn State always does. Penn State is the absolute best wrestling program in the country and has been for the past 20 years. They had, I think it was seven finalists for the NCAA National Championship. I think they won 5. Absolutely insane. This year they actually continued their record. I think it was at one point, I think it's 89 total dual wins straight that they've won. Absolutely destroyed everybody in their path, and it doesn't look to stop. But I think there were 3 total freshmen that won national championships last night out of only, I think it's 12 weight classes. So the future wrestling is super exciting. It's super insane. There were some major upsets last night. So much fun to watch. And it just kind of sucks that wrestling and basketball are always at the same time. Usually if you're a wrestler, you suck at basketball. I'm a testament to that because I am absolutely awful at basketball. But I was a good wrestler. Nonetheless, I think that, this tournament, this sport needs to be highlighted more because it is absolutely just so fun to watch, so fantastic. And last night history is made, and I just wanted to talk about it. So.
Yeah, really cool. I saw some of that actually yesterday. I'm glad you highlighted it. Really cool. Penn State is just, like you said, doing
insane. Yeah,
unreal. They're the pinnacle. I don't think you could even really come close to arguing that.
You're right. Their head coach, Cale Sanderson, he was Iowa State. He was the first player to ever go completely undefeated all through college, all 4 years, and win national championships. And in terms of just recruiting, he gets usually the best guy in the country at every position. They're looking to win a national title in every single weight class. It's insane. So
yeah, and wrestling's cool because it's you out there, right?
Right.
That's it. You can have a great team, you can have a great coach, you can have whatever. But when you're out there on the mat, that's it. It's you and your opponent, and it's your focus, and it's all the training, and it's everything that you go. I think that's awesome. That's a cool sport. Definitely really cool. And you're right. What is it with wrestlers and basketball? I think it's a body type thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's just the body. You don't want to have like real long, whatever. Let's not break that next week on the show. No, I guess what's on my mind is my kids are on spring break this week. It's about to be baseball season. It's spring. It's officially spring. Like today, it's spring. We've sprung forward. We've already lost the hour of sleep. That's gone. That's behind us. Although I don't know that I've ever fully recovered from that, to be honest with you. I think that's still affecting me. But take the time to get outside. This is a time for it might have some allergy concerns, but this is a time I think you get cabin fever, especially with the winter that we've had in Northeast Ohio. It's been brutally cold. Windy. It's going to be windy today again, apparently with these storms later on. So maybe don't go outside during the storms if it storms. But take a chance to get outside, watch some baseball. Although I will say that I have a little bit of a beef with Major League Baseball. They've made it almost impossible to watch. I grew up during the days of the Braves on TBS. All you needed was just simple cable, just the basic cable package. You had TBS, and you could watch the Braves 150, 155 times a year. You could watch the Cubs 130 times a year. You could watch the White Sox 40 or 50 times a year. It was really easy. Nationally, you didn't have to be in the region to watch these games, right? You could watch the Cubs, the White Sox, the Braves. It was great. I wish there was more baseball on nationally. I wish, we didn't have to do Sunday Night Baseball or the Saturday Fox Game of the Week or whatever, the Peacock, whatever, one game a month, whatever they're doing. And then if you want to watch your team, it's $100 a year. You want to watch the rest of baseball, it's $100 a year or more. And it may not sound like a lot, but it adds up, right? It just adds up. And I think it's really disappointing that Major League Baseball already does such a terrible job of marketing their players. They do a terrible job of marketing their product, and now they're heading into a work stoppage. And there's a reason that I feel like people are going to lose interest. So what's on my mind right now is I was just going to say, take the time. I'm going to take the time and enjoy this week with my kids. But when baseball starts up, enjoy baseball because I don't know how long it'll be gone. And I don't know how long it'll be one of the premier products as far as professional sports go in this country anymore. Soccer is quickly taken over as far as youth leagues go. You've got a lot of travel baseball stuff, and it seems to be what's wrong with baseball. We're losing recreational baseball leagues all over the place. Inner cities, baseball is non-existent. It's unsustainable this way. You can't keep going forward and expect baseball to be, America's pastime if we don't even play it at the youth level in our cities and in our towns. And I mean, we're losing baseball. So if you love baseball, if you like baseball at all, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to fix it. I don't really have a way to fix it. I know we need probably less travel leagues, more recreational baseball, and we have to get baseball back into the inner cities, whether that's baseball, Major League Baseball itself, taking the initiative to, get these leagues going in inner cities. We just don't have inner city representation in baseball at all. You don't see it. Most of it comes from other countries, which is fine. I mean, the best players can come from wherever they need to come from. I have no problem with that. But I would love to see baseball back in our inner cities. I mean, it would be nice to see American kids growing up playing, city league baseball again. I just think we've lost something where, for a travel team, you pay, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 a summer so your kid can go to 5 or 6 tournaments and win, $10 rings or whatever. We're using $400 or $500 bats, $300 gloves, and these kids are 8 and under. I think we've just lost that personal touch to baseball. It's become win at all costs, and it shouldn't be that way for 8, 9, and 10-year-olds. I'm sorry. So that's whatever. That's my little thing. It's just not quite. It's probably not even really what wrestling is right now at the college level. It's just a ticket to get to the next spot, which is fine. But I wish we had more youth involved. More people would grow up playing baseball. I think it's a great sport. It's not. I was going to say it's the ultimate team sport. It's really not. Football is probably the ultimate team sport. But, I just wish we had more representation in our inner cities for baseball. That's all. I just wish more kids could grow up playing baseball. Regardless, that's it for this week. We want to get out of here. I want to thank our sponsors, Alley Rose Fragrances. I want to thank Fanatics, sportsmemorabilia.com. I want to thank W Energy. We want to thank Monster Moments Photography. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring us. Thank you, our viewers, for being here every Sunday, every Saturday, every Monday through Thursday. Whenever you're here with us, we appreciate you. Sorry we couldn't bring you a show last week. Again, no power all weekend. As soon as I got power back, I lost my Wi-Fi. It was it was a struggle, but we're all good now. We're fine. We're back up. So pay attention tonight on the Inside Edge Network. We've got the main event with Rob Rozicki, Anthony Alford, and Eli Moon. They'll be with you tonight about, I don't know what time they start. Late night tonight. They'll be with you. I think their start time sometimes depends on what's going on. So that'll be tonight. And then all week this week, of course, Inside Edge primetime at 10 o'clock. We've got all kinds of other stuff going on the Inside Edge Network. Follow us on social media. I'll put that screen up here. I mean, we count on you, on your support and watching us. We appreciate it. We love it. We also need you to like our pages, to follow us, to subscribe, so you're always aware of when we go live or when we share short form content on Facebook with Reels or whatever, Instagram with the Reels there as well, TikTok. We're all over the place. YouTube, X. So follow us, like, subscribe, engage, comment on things. Just do whatever you can do. It helps us grow. It helps us bring you better content. And at the end of the day, I think that's what everybody wants. So thank you guys again so much. Again, thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to TK for being with me and putting up with me and my scatterbrained hosting for another Sunday for 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. Wouldn't have it any other way though, right? We will see you guys here. Well, I'll see you Monday night on Inside Edge Primetime. TK and I will see you back here on Saturday with the Legal Formation. And then Ryan, TK, and I will be all back. We've got the Commissioner's Couch that's going on.
Real quick with that. Last week we missed our episode because I was sick, so we're gonna drop our last week's episode on Wednesday, going over our last receivers. So it'll be a total of 18 when we're done, and then Thursday we'll be live at 7 o'clock. We're gonna start with the running back position for the 2026 class, our top 6 favorite running backs. So check that out.
Double dip this week. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I love that. The Commissioner's Couch and the Commissioner's Love Seat. I love that. You gotta love that. All right.
Next, if we skip another week, it'll be a cuck chair too. So we don't want to do that.
The Commissioner's rocking chair as you get older.
Yeah, there you go.
You've got options there. You've left yourself with built-in options. I love it. Anyway, so much going on. Talking just everything going on with everybody. Please just follow us on the Inside Edge Network so you're always aware of the next show to go live or the next show to drop. Believe me, there's plenty of talent, plenty of good information, plenty of knowledge, and just plenty of fun here on the Inside Edge Network. We like to have some fun. So we appreciate you guys. We will see you here on the Sunday Sports Show next, of course, Sunday. Enjoy March Madness. Enjoy the next week of tournament. We'll talk about it next weekend as we'll be way, way ahead. We'll know a lot more next Sunday. So, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a great rest of your weekend. If your kids are on spring break, if you're on spring break, whatever it is, enjoy your trip, enjoy your time away from school, enjoy whatever it is. We'll see you here next Sunday. Bye, guys.